Hi, everyone. I'm Allie, as Dr. Van Riet said, and this semester I worked very closely with Dr. Van Riet on a project inspired by Josette Tegander's research, who graduated last year on perceptions of disability. I'm just going to share my poster. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. So I started off with preliminary research on perceptions of disability, both mental and physical disability, and differences. And first off, I kind of started off generally and found that negative perceptions, discrimination, and bias led to compromised self-esteem of individuals who identified as having a disability. Additionally, these negative attitudes were derived from sympathy rather than empathy. So this implies a power differential between individuals who identify as having a disability and those who don't. Individuals who identify as having both mental and physical disabilities. So then I looked into the relationship of disability, self-categorization, and self-esteem. So more specifically, I looked into whether or not, for lack of a better word, owning your disability or identifying as having a disability affects self-esteem in a positive or negative way. So I found that those who reject construct of ableism have increased self-esteem. And farther down, I have ableism, just a general definition, is a form of discrimination or social prejudice against individuals with disabilities. So those who reject ableism have higher self-esteem. Additionally, positive disability identity predicts belonging and responses to discrimination. So it predicts specifically more positive responses to discrimination. However, there is a problem of directionality here. So it is unclear whether rejecting ableism improves self-esteem or individuals who have a baseline higher self-esteem reject ableism more easily. So that's something to take into consideration. Additionally, I looked into the relationship between cognitive and physical disabilities. So if perceptions of physical disability are more positive than cognitive disability or not, there's not much previous research done specifically in this relationship, so it's been interesting to look into. So generally, the purpose of my study was to determine if exposure to individuals who reject ableism positively influences perception of disability or not, and to understand differences in attitudes towards cognitive and physical disabilities, which I said there was a lack of previous research on. So I have 6 conditions in my study. There were approximately 70 individuals per condition. Unfortunately, my recruiting did get cut short due to everything that has been going on. But participants responded by way of an online survey, and I used both college students in the Providence College community, recruited by way of SONA and MTurk. So the way the survey works is there's 2 TED Talk videos that individuals are randomly assigned to see. They either watched a video of Greta Thunberg, who is really a prominent person right now. She is an individual who identifies as having Asperger's, autism, and selective mutism. And then I had so she is in the top picture in this column. And the bottom picture in this column is an individual who spoke about inspiration. And she is obviously in a wheelchair. And when she was younger, she was referred to as an inspiration. Everyone says, "You're so inspirational. We look up to you." And she was like, "I haven't really done anything at all. I'm not an inspiration. I am me. Just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean I'm your inspiration." So she actively rejected constructs of ableism in this video. And I had a control video on creativity and culture. It was a woman, an African woman, explaining how creativity and culture intertwine. So then individuals read 2 short stories, either depicting individual cognitive disabilities or physical disabilities. And the multidimensional attitude scale towards persons with disabilities was then used for individuals to report their beliefs about the individuals depicted in the videos and the vignettes. So like I said, random assignment was used to respond or to watch the videos and read the vignettes. And I hypothesized that I expected to find that cognitive disabilities elicit more negative perceptions than physical based on previous research. Additionally, I thought that perceptions of disability will be more positive after viewing an individual who rejects constructs of ableism. Both Greta and the woman in the second video rejected constructs of ableism. So unfortunately, I did not get to completely follow through with the results. However, if results are consistent with previous research, we expect to find more negative perceptions after reading about and viewing physical disability. So when participants are both assigned to read and view an individual with physical disability or mental disability. So also I anticipated that more positive perceptions following a clip of an individual who rejects constructs of ableism compared to the control video. So, as I said, data analysis has been prolonged. However, Dr. O'Keefe and I are planning to work next semester in the fall, even though I'll be graduated, continuing this research with research assistants. So I use undergraduate community samples, attention checks were used in the survey, and I use an established survey. So those are all pros to what I've been able to accomplish so far. And I just wanted to say that this research was generously supported by the undergraduate research grant, and I am very thankful for the opportunity that it has provided me with. So I guess I'll open up to questions if anybody has any.
Thank you so much, Ali. It's such important work. You know, I was really surprised to hear you say that cognitive disabilities are perceived a little bit worse than physical disabilities. Can you say why that is?
I think there's a lot of different ideas in the previous research, but what I've come across is that it's mostly due to stigma. I think there's a lot in psychology, we talk about stigma due to mental illness, such as depression and things like that. So I think that's really the root of it. And people tend to sympathize more than empathize with individuals with mental disability. So I think that's definitely one of the roots of why it's perceived more negatively.
Interesting. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if your results turn out as you hypothesized, do you think this points to a potential path for interventions or change?
I think so. I think that was one of my goals that I hoped to reach, was to set a path for intervention. I still haven't exactly figured out how. I think definitely it will open a conversation, especially on campus, and if not in the community, as to more positive perceptions of disability.